Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming, I'm Nathan, and I'm going to tell you this game is worth your time and bandwidth. Today's game is Lost Epic. It's time for yet another 2D Souls-esque Metroidvania, but this one has a twist. It's really pretty, and has a lot of quests. Is Lost Epic worth discovering? Lost Epic is a PC and PlayStation release with an MSRP price of $24. The game will take you around 9 to 12 hours, though you can spend more time if you want to do all the side quests and stuff, and as a full disclosure, a key for this game was provided by the developer. So what exactly is Lost Epic? Well, it's a 2D platformer Metroidvania with an emphasis on combat and exploration and some light Souls mechanics. You play as a nameless hero, basically revived to kill the gods, because this is a JRPG and that's what we do. After choosing one of a handful of gorgeous looking MCs, you'll be given a weapon and set to platform, murder, and quest your way into killing deities. Basic gameplay is simple but with a few twists. You'll be exploring large interconnected zones Metroid style that are littered with platforming challenges and enemies. Along the way, you'll be gated from a handful of obstacles that can't be crossed until you find a specific skill. Does this sound familiar? This is bog standard Metroid. The combat is where the game feels best, with a light and heavy attack as well as aerial combos, and all these moves vary based on which of the large variety of different weapon types you choose. Enemies can be parried simply by attacking when they do, or by doing a god counter. Essentially, certain enemies will attack with a flashing yellow move, and if you use your weapon's god ability, aka a strong move on cooldown, at the right time you'll do a giant counter, staggering the enemy and opening them up for a crit. Hitting enemies like that or otherwise fills a meter that, when full, allows you to execute said critical, dealing massive damage. Building up meter is crucial for killing bosses and enemies with large health pools. Aside from murder, you'll be taking a whole host of side quests in each safe zone, most of which simply involve more murder or exploring mazes. Completing quests and mazes not only gives XP, but skills on a large skill tree. Skills are also earned by leveling up at the bonfire, and similar to Souls, dying drops your XP as well. Healing items don't replenish for free in this game, so you'll need to gather resources through the world and spend XP to craft them, as well as XP to upgrade and augment your various weapons, armors, so on. It's pretty standard stuff. So overall, Lost Epic is a fairly standard 2D action Metroidvania game with an emphasis on its many quests, upgrades, and flashy combat. So what do I like about Lost Epic? Well, the combat, again, is flashy and satisfying, particularly when learning how to master all the god skills and landing that god parry just feels incredible. Additionally, the art is just gorgeous. It really reminds me of Muramasa and Odin Sphere if you played those games, with just really rich characters and backgrounds. And lastly, the loop can be addicting, as quests provide new abilities and skill points, and there's a ton of content to do should you want to beat everything. When it comes to the bad, the game unfortunately runs out of original ideas as well as enemies as soon as the second zone, with the same batch of a half a dozen baddies, with just a few slight revisions make up the entire enemy roster across the whole game. Additionally, the game has an insane amount of grinding after the first bit, with XP requirements for levels being significant, material farming feeling endless, and the game expecting you to run areas again and again. And on that note, many elements in the game feel like they exist just to frustrate. You can't turn in quests in any safe zone, it has to be the specific safe zone for that area. You can't easily teleport anywhere early on, just back to safe zones. Zones are huge, and traversal can take a really long time. A lot of the main content of this game feels like it would be filler in other games. As you know, I rate games here on a 3-point scale. Must play, maybe consider, don't bother. Lost Epic is a maybe consider, but just barely. It has a phenomenal first impression with some exhilarating combat, gorgeous graphics, and a ton of side stuff to do, and then it almost immediately gets bogged down with its tedious traversal elements and seemingly endless grind. So much of this game seems designed to inconvenience the player. It's baffling, as the core loop, while simple, can be very engaging. If you play this game in small chunks, I found it to be very enjoyable, but honestly, if you don't have the patience for tedium or grind, you can probably leave Lost Epic lost. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you played Lost Epic, what do you think about it? Please let me know in the comments, but regardless, go out there and check it out.